Tomorrow, the Bank of Canada will issue its latest decision on interest rates. A cut could be coming, or the bank could decide to wait a little longer, maybe July, possibly the fall, we'll see. But either way, a lot of Canadians watching very closely, maybe you're one, especially people who have mortgages. That's because over the next year and a half, about 44% of Canadian mortgages will be up for renewal. So what to do? Let's bring in Greg Nowik. He is a mortgage broker with Nowik Mortgage. He's in Nanaimo, BC on Vancouver Island. Hey, Greg, good to see you. Thanks for taking time for CTV News.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'm going to start simple here, and then we'll get more complicated if you don't mind. Your take on the best kind of mortgage that people should have right now.
Oh, my God. The whole thing now is on planning and flexibility. I've been doing this for 35 years. And we've seen lots of changes in the last 3.5 or 4 years within the industry. And I think now more than any time in the past, you've really got to sit down and figure out what your own economy is based on and what your own financial situation is based on and what your own plan is. So, what's the best route to go? It depends on the individual.
We're looking at this here, and some of the people that we've spoken to, I know you are part of this here. Some people are saying variable rate, some say fixed rate. And of course, there's always a lot of people who say, well, it sort of depends on your situation. Because, of course, as you know, Greg, in the work you do, everybody comes to this from a different place, depending on how much time they have left in their mortgage, what their financial situation is as well. And as you say, like what they can manage in terms of their household income.
I'm in the 34%. I think now the most important aspect, as I mentioned, sitting down and doing your own financial budget. Like when we're running a business, it's all about profit and loss. And when we're dealing with our own situation, we don't necessarily do that. So it's a matter of sitting down and saying, hey, how much money do I have coming in? What are my payments? What's left over, if anything? And how do I get to where I want to be in the next 5 years? And that's where, our customers really have to sit down and look at their own situation personally.
Hey, so let's say I'm in Nanaimo and I walk into Nowik Mortgage and I say to you, Greg, should I get out of a variable mortgage? I'm in one right now. Should I go into a fixed one? What would you tell me?
Well, we'd have to ask a whole pile more questions. Like it used to be when I started doing this 30 years ago, we just gave you what you wanted, right? And now it's about planning. It's about saying, okay, what does the next 5 years hold for you? Like, what's your plan? Do you have kids leaving the house? Do you have kids coming into the house? Do you have kids going to school? There's so many different elements that come into play. Do I have to downsize? Am I looking at getting a bigger home? Like, there's so many things that come into play, and that's the most important aspect. So we also have a kind of a cool system where we'll give you 5 choices, and we say, hey, listen, here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a variable rate mortgage. Here's all the positives and negatives of all of these products, and then we discuss with them what's the best one to utilize.
Do you think the bank's going to cut the rate?
I'm not allowed to swear. They said rates were not going up till mid 2024, and you know what? I hope so. I think they will. I think they'll drop tomorrow, and I think we'll have one more drop at the end of the year as well, maybe 2.
Greg Nowik joining us from Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. Hey, Greg, great chat. I'd love to get you back once we get the results from the Bank of Canada and see how it plays out.
You got it.
All right, there we go. Greg Nowik joining me. And a reminder, we're going to have a lot more on mortgage renewals throughout the day here. We're talking to people like Greg and people right across the country in different provinces on what you need to know, getting their feedback, their tips throughout the day on CTV News Channel. Renewing your mortgage, what should you do? And by the way, be sure to visit our website as well, ctvnews.ca, for specific regions as it relates to whatever province you are in. And as for that decision tomorrow, there it is. It's going to be released at 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 6:45 Pacific, and we'll have lots of analysis and coverage right here on CTV News.